What's up, guys, and welcome to the Iron Juggernaut raid guide for fire mages, okay? In this guide, we're going to be going over exactly how to maximize your damage as a fire mage and really pull some insane numbers. This fight is awesome for fire mages. I don't care what anybody says. We have the ability to negate pretty much every effect in this encounter. So take a listen and let's see how we do it. First off, let's start out with talents, okay? So talents, again, Ice Barrier does now become really strong in this fight. However, Temporal Shield is not bad in this fight, especially for phase 2 when there's that constant damage coming out. However, being able to Ice Barrier when Shock Pulse is coming is extremely helpful to your healers. It's also helpful in case you don't position yourself properly and you have a long way to run back. But let's get into it real quick. The bomb we're going to be using, Living Bomb, because there's only one target that we care about. That's Iron Juggernaut. There's not ads, there's not anything else, so let's take care of that. The other thing that we want in this fight is we want greater invis, okay? We really want greater invis, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but it's mainly because of the fact that when those crawler mines come out, if the tank can't get to one, we can pop GI, grab a crawler mine. You just click it because it's got that rideable icon, so you just click on the crawler mine after you pop your greater invis. It'll pop you up in the air, but it won't do any damage to you pretty much, and it'll really help your raid. So mages are really good for that. Priests are also, with pain suppression, are really good for that. So if your tank can't get them all, whoever's not taking the boss, make sure that you have your setup ready to go for who can take those if necessary. That's a really big help to your raid in this fight, guys. Mages are essential for being able to do those, so keep that in mind. We also do insane damage on this fight as well. Glyph wise, again, we want combustion because we want just some massive combustions, okay? We just want those huge, big numbers popping on the boss at all times. You don't need Inferno Blast in this fight, so I always recommend doing armors, again, because there's a lot of damage coming out in this fight. Armors, getting that nice damage reduction always helps. And then double blink. Double blink in this fight because there's nothing that's going to stun you, right? So double blink in this fight is massively overpowered because, like I said, if you do get hit by Shock Pulse, if during phase 2, especially in heroic mode when there's all those reticles on the ground, being able to blink to safety is so nice, and then being able to blink back to your spot for Shock Pulse so you don't get knocked all the way across the room. Again, key things that can really help up your damage in this fight. Again, the biggest place where you're going to lose damage in this entire fight is phase 1. It's not really a whole lot of things besides just move out of stuff if it targets you. The big thing about this is when that Shock Pulse comes out, if we're not positioned correctly, we can double blink back to the boss. If there's a big ability that we can't get out of, we can blink away from it. Armors does help, combustion does help, having Ice Barrier and GI so we can soak those mines is huge. I'm telling you guys, like, mages were built to make this fight easy. You can pump out just insane numbers on this fight if you're just making sure that you're doing your normal single target rotation, and then when any extracurricular stuff comes up, you know exactly where your positioning is. That's the biggest thing though with this fight, is positioning. So make sure that depending on where your tanks are tanking him, that you're positioning yourself so that you're not going to get knocked back out of range, and if you do, that you're a blink away from being right back into attack mode. The biggest thing again is you'll outrange your healers if people are getting shock pulsed all over the place, and then it's very hard for them to heal everybody back up. So the quicker that you can get back into position and get those hots rolling on you so that your life's coming back up, is the better for you. You don't have to worry about popping any cooldowns. You're just straight tunneling damage into the boss. You're not worrying about survivability at that point because we're always in a good position. But there's really not a whole lot else to cover on this fight, guys. Just Living Bomb and then this tunnel. Obviously, we're popping our combustion at the start, really hitting them as hard as we can. Normally, most groups will pop their Bloodlust or Heroism at the start as well, so we get a huge combustion to start off the fight, which is always nice to see for those big numbers. But if you do have any other questions about the fight, any other tips and tricks, please leave me in the comments below. Hope you guys like this one. As always, see you in the next one.